Welcome back. Why is it flying again? Spends more time in the air than it does on the ground. Well, as you probably saw, we took it out for a little bit of a shakedown. Everything was great. Really happy with the results. Only one thing, a little bit of squeaking on the front brakes when we were doing low speed. So I'm going to say, even though I've checked the pads, the discs, all good, there's plenty on the pads, I'm going to say the age is just got to them. So rather than cleaning them up, we're just going to replace them because we've come this far. So we've got a nice new set of Brembos here, ready to go on. Oh, nice, easy job, quickly. Change the pads. They do it in the pits in about 30 seconds, so we should be able to do it before weekend. We've already done quite a bit of work to this corner of the car already. The two new rose joints look sparkling away there. We've adjusted that spring when we did the ride height. We've lacquered that caliper. The new fan in there and the new fan gauze. And last but not least, a couple of brake pads. We're going to detail this disc so it looks a little bit nicer. I'll show you about that later. But removing the discs, the pads, brake pads, they're the same on every car. It's a Ferrari. It's still the same brake pad, the same principles. Everything works the same as any other car. So you can pay loads of money to have them done for you if that's what you want to do. But you can just do this on your drive. You don't need a fancy pants ramp. If you've got one, then they're great, I must admit. But you can jack it up and do this. It's dead easy, really simple. Inside here are the two pads. There's pistons inside these calipers. When you press the brake, the pistons are pushed out by the fluid, which then pushes the brake pads together and squashes it onto this disc, which gives you your brakes. The better the caliper, the more pistons there is in it usually. So an old Ford Escort has one in it. I think these have got two on each side, so they would be called a 4-pot, 4 pistons. A bigger disc would be a 6-pot, 6 pistons. Nobody cares if it's a 1-pot, really. Nobody calls it a 1-pot. So you'd have a 4-pot, 6-pot, whatever. I don't know how high they go. But there's in there, there's 2 pins that run across. We have to just knock them out with a drift. Just buy the right size drift because it does make a difference because you don't want to be damaging your caliper. Drift them out, then this little clip pulls out. Then you just have to give your brake discs a bit of a wibble because you have to push the pistons back, so you've got room to get them out, and then they'll just slide out, and then you just have to push your pistons back so you can get the new pads in because obviously they're going to be thicker, so the pistons have to be pushed back, which you can just do. You can use a pair of grips if you want, protect your caliper before you do. I use grips usually. Sometimes I just use a little bar. Best thing is if you take the lid off your brake reservoir before you do this, then that allows the fluid to push back up easier when you're doing it. So it makes it a little bit easier. Don't forget to put it back on, otherwise you end up with brake fluid everywhere. So that's the basics of a set of front pads. It's easy, isn't it? Anyway, let's have a look. I'll make a start. See what you think. See if you can do it. Here's the pads. Top tip. Always lay out your new stuff before you do any work on the car and check it. Check that it's the same. Check that it doesn't say left and right on it. Check that there's nothing you need to know. Check the part numbers against the old stuff when you take it out. Now, I ordered a set without wear sensors. This is a wear sensor. So basically, there's a sensor in your pad. And when it gets to that level, that sensor will make a contact with the earth of the car and your light will come on and tell you that your pads are low. One of the things we did notice about this car early days, which I did ask if anyone knew what they were, is there is a couple of wires on each side that don't seem to do anything. They just seem to go around in circles. Now, I think the brake sensors have been bypassed on this car, which would make sense. And I'm not against it, to be honest, because I do keep an eye on it and I do know that it's going to be right. So I'm not going to reconnect. I'm going to leave them bypassed because, obviously I can maintain the car and I'm not selling it. So drift, I can't remember what size it is, but I did order it just for this car. 150 by 3mm. It's a lovely colour. Anyway, pin 1, pin 2. Drift in there. Hammer. Gently does it. You'll see. We'll drift that pin right through there. And it comes out the other side. Drift this pin out too. Gently does it. Now the first one, obviously there's a spring, this spring clip, so that's there. The spring clip will come out. Top tip, if as you take everything out, if you lie it in the formation that it came out, like that, then when you come to put it back in, you know which way everything goes. I'm just going to pop that on the side. Okay, so that just pulls out now. Look, see, there's plenty of life left on them pads. They're virtually brand new. They're Ferodo, so they're a good make. There's no slip on the back of them, though, which does stop squeaking, because the metal on the metal, when you put them in dry like that, you're going to get, you just, that's what happens, you get a squeak. So you always put a bit of alley slip or copper slip on the back of there. I use alley slip on this car because the car's alley. And it stops that squeaking. And also with these pads, the difference between these pads and the Brembos have chamfered edges. These don't. Then, so what happens is you get a bit of a build-up of brake dust and junk on there that sits there. And then when you brake it, you know, so there's a couple of things, there's a couple of reasons we're getting a squeal there. It's a shame because those pads are quite new. I wonder how old they are. I'm going to look back through the history now, and I bet they're not very old. They just haven't been fitted with any slip. But we've done all Brembos on the back, so these have been Brembos on the front, so they'll match. Top tip when you're doing dual things like this with 4 pistons in, you do one pad at a time, because if you take that out of there now and take the other pad out, when you push these pistons back, generally what happens is the other side comes out. So if you do one at a time, you push the pistons back, put it in, then when you do the other side, the pad stops it pushing out. It's just easy. Right, let's get them in, get them slipped up. So the pad, alley slip, a little bit on your finger. The back of the pad, make sure you do the back, not really the front. Doesn't need a lot, it just sort of spreads out. It looks like a lot, but it's not, it's really thin. And what that's doing is it's putting a barrier between the 2 pieces of metal, which stops the squeaking. So then, obviously, try not to get any on the pad. If you do, wipe it off and just slide it in like that. Done. Let's do the next one. That's the 2 pads in now, they're slid in. Line the holes of the pads up with where the pins go through. And we've got our spring clamp. We'll just give that a little clean up. And what I like to do, rightly or wrongly, people might tell you you're wrong, people might say you're right, I do just put a little bit of copper slip on these pins, a little bit of alley slip, just to stop them seizing again. Just a tiny bit on each end. So, get that pin in. Just like a little bit on there. A little bit on there. That's it. Now, people might tell me I'm wrong doing that and that I shouldn't put them on these components. I've never had any problems before. And when I come to redo the brakes, it'll be really easy. So make your own decision on that one. So if you're like me and you've got a memory like a goldfish, then only doing one side at a time is a good thing, because then you can quickly have a look at the other side and see which way around everything goes. So we know which way around that spring clip goes because we can remember. We haven't had to look at the other side, I promise. That first pin through the inside, line that up with the first pad. coming through. It goes over the top of that spring clip like that. This one's quite easy because the spring clip doesn't really require much springing. And then just give that a tiny tap for now. We'll put that in properly in a minute, and then the second pin just goes through and push that in from the inside. I'm going to get the back of my head for a minute. There you go, see. Make sure it's going into that hole there. And then we'll use the drift just to tap it in. You'll know when it's solid because you'll hear it. It'll go tick, 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 duck. You know what I mean? When you get that solid sound, tick, 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 duck, then it's there. You don't need to whack it to death. And you've got to be careful not to miss it. See, got that solid sound now. Listen to this one now. I'll start this one off. You'll get like a echoey sound, and then it'll go solid. Oops. Yeah, that's it. And that is how easy it is to change your pads on a Ferrari, on a supercar. Any supercar will be the same. They're actually easier on these cars than on other cars, because on other cars, normal daily, run-of-the-mill drivers, you would have to take the caliper off. It would probably only have one pot in it, like I said. You'd have to take the back bolts off the caliper, drop the caliper, change the pads clip into the caliper, and it goes back on. But with these and others, because the racing cars, they're designed to be changed quickly in the pits. So that's it. Look at your bill, see what your labour charge was. Took me about 10 minutes, and I made a YouTube video while I was doing it. So just to tidy things up now, finish it off, as we've got a bit of time, I'm going to just give this outside edge of the disc a little rub down. I'm going to give this inside edge a little rub down, and then I'm going to put some a little bit of secret detailing ingredient on it, and which, if you want to know what it is, send me a message. And then when you look through the wheel, instead of seeing a rusty part of the disc, which is not very nice to look at, you'll see a nice finish. God, it's hot outside, and that was hard work. And, now might just be a time for a drink of, we don't have any sponsors like the big guys, so we'll just have a drink of water. Water from the tap. Use my discount code to get water from the tap. One thing we have done since I last saw you is the tracking. It was 5 degrees out because we put a track rod end on this side anyway. I thought I'd measured it and got it perfect. But when I sat it on the floor or something, it did just look a little bit out. So we took it for tracking. Turns out both sides were 5 degrees cambered inwards. I don't know if that's a thing, but now the car runs straight, which is much better. And that's it. One new set of brake pads. Easy as that. See? Give it a go. Have a go yourself. What's the worst can happen? You have to get towed to a garage and get someone else to do it. Or phone your mate, get them to come round. Those pads were £100. That's what it cost me to do that job. A little bit of copper slip. £100 and 20 pence. What do you know? So we'll drop this down now. We'll torque the wheel nuts up. And then this weekend we can get it out and about. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please do like, do subscribe, do like, do all of that stuff that you're supposed to do on YouTube, because it just gives me confidence and I can make more videos. I'm actually running out of things to do with this car now, to be honest. I took it apart now and put it back together again. Let's get it out. We need to do some more drive-bys, don't we? We'll find some places to go. I really, really, really want to take it to Oulton Park. I've driven Oulton Park a few times. various cars, this would be the car to take it. So maybe we'll hopefully have a look at getting something booked. Or the Anglesey circuit, who knows. Anyway, thanks for watching. Adios.